Namaskar. Nowadays, whenever we go outside to any shopping mall or children's park, we see children playing around, interacting, communicating with their friends, and they are happy, enjoying their childhood. We, as an adult, whenever we see a child playing around, we also feel very happy. Few decades back, in the community of our living, we have always seen happy child, normal child. Unfortunately, from past few years, there is a sudden upsurge in the number of children with special needs. So this video is very important and is a token of love and respect for those parents, those who have children with special needs at home. In this video, we have tried to bring few points which we need to understand when we have a special child at home. When the child was in mother's womb, the first sense organ which was developed was skin. When the child was in mother's womb, the child can hear everything, whatever was happening with the mother outside the womb, being inside the womb. Suddenly, after the birth, when the child is outside the womb, the mother, language, grammar, words, whatever the mother is communicating with the child is taking time to understand. So, Supreme Soul or the Almighty is the owner of the body or the soul. So, we think that we know everything, but Almighty knows what all things the Almighty has given the human beings to understand in the womb, and what the child need to explore when the child is outside the mother's womb. As we know, we have 5 Gyanendriyas and 5 Karmendriyas, and this brain, this mind is the system where through these Gyanendriyas and the Karmendriyas it receives the knowledge, the data or the information from the surrounding, and through the Karmendriyas it again give back whatever it has received. It need to communicate back to the society through our Karmendriyas. So it is like a flowing river. The water is always very clean. So there is a proverb that if the river is flowing naturally, then the water quality of that river is very good. So it is always our responsibility that whatever information, whatever data our Karmendriyas is receiving, our brain is interpreting it, and then again through our Karmendriyas we should again give back to this ambience. So we have done few case studies, and we thought through our channel we can discuss these case studies with those parents for whom we think this video will be helpful to manage the child with special need at home. So let's see, there was one child. The child is a special child. The child was not making eye contact. The child was shy from the community, from the society. The child was not able to cope up with the ambience, but the child was very good in music, art, dance. Whatever you give the child, any song, the child was able to sing it very well. The child was very good in painting. The child was very good in dance. So when we interacted with the parent, we requested the parent that instead of always be in a tension, because when we are tensed as a parent, the child feel it. The child can sense it. So instead of tapping on what the child couldn't do it, let's tap on what the child is doing it. So when we communicated with the child, the parents were wonderful. We are communicating with that parent from past 1.5 year to 2 years, and we are seeing there is improvement. Yes, there is improvement now in the child. The child is able to now make a little bit of more eye contacts and socializing, because the appreciation, the applause what the child has received because of the performance through the art, music, or the coloring or the painting skills and all, it has increased a child inner qualities, and now the child does not fall into the category of special needs. So there is one thing which we have discussed, that instead of tapping on the what the child is not able to do it, let's try to tap it on what the child's capability is. There was one more child. The child was very good in memory. Whatever you tell the child, she was memorizing it. And whenever you ask the child to do any kind of like any rhymes, or you can tell the child whatever question you ask him, the child was memorizing it. But again, the child was little bit shy, the child was not socializing, the child was in his or in her own world. So the child was having those kind of problem. In all my videos, we have already discussed that the time has come now, no more rhymes, the time has come for hymns. Hymns from Rigved. Our Muni Rishis, our ancient days, our ancient sages, they have encrypted around 1 lakh hymns in Rigved. Yes, Rigved is not a book to understand. It is a book with 1 lakh hymns. Just if we can memorize it, the tricks to pronunciate the hymns with correct frequency, with correct pronunciation, then how we can have good memory from the pronunciation of good shlokas and hymns. Already I have made a video on that. So when we discussed with that parents that why can't we play the Rigved hymns to that child, and when that child was going on listening those hymns, she was memorizing it like anything. Let me take one example. As we know, if somebody is born blind, maybe the sense organ, that is their eye, is not capable to sense from the ambience, but the other 4 sense organs are very, very active for a blind person. That's why the books of the blind person, they sense it through their skin. So whenever there is any problem with any of one of the Gyanendriya, definitely the other 4 or other 3 sense organs will be super duper active. Only thing, we as a parent, we have to tap on that part, that whichever 3 sense organs, whichever 2 sense organs, whichever 4 sense organ, no problem, but we have to see that how we can enter to this brain with that 4 sense organs which is active for the child, instead of worrying that no, this sense organ is not working, this sense organ is not working, this sense organ. So let's not worry about which sense organ is not working. Let's worry about which sense organ is working, and how through different paraphernalias, tricks, methodologies, we can enter to this brain, so that the child will be understanding, the child will be happy to know that. So there was one more child. The child was so sweet. She can hear everything, but only thing, when we asked the child, hey, aap kaise ho? So the child was replying like this. That means the word was forming inside the mouth, but the child was not able to throw the sound from the mouth. So there is a beautiful instrument in every house puja room, or we can say in a temple, like known as conch shells. So when we requested the parent that why don't the child blow the conch shells for good amount of time, so almost it is now 6 to 8 months time, but the child is able to speak now properly. So whenever we see that the ear is having some problem, just try to enter the brain of the child through the other sense organs, and once the brain is functioning it properly, then how we can bring back the same information and data through our karmendriyas, it should be our responsibilities. There was one more child. The child was hyperactive, the child was having lot of energy in the body, but the energy was not able to channelize it. That means the gyanendriyas are receiving lot of energy, lot of thing, but the karmendriyas was not able to pull the energy back to the ambience. So when we discussed with the parents, the first thing what we asked him, there is a natural phenomena, as we know in our ancient days, they have always made it a practice that we should use our washrooms for pooping at least twice a day. That is once in the morning and once in the evening. So the first thing what we asked the parent, is the child pooping properly and how many times a day? And to our surprise, we came to know that the child is constipated. So the first thing we requested to the parents, that we have to first work that the food energy, that means the food through this body, we are formed from the food. So the food energy, whatever it is going inside our body, it should excrete it well from the body. So that will first bring the balance to this body. So these are the small things we have to take care as a parent when we have a special child at home. And one more beautiful thing what every house has is kitchen. Yes, my dear friends, kitchen is a beautiful laboratory for our special child, where the child can learn everything, and if we give a special attention consciously, if we can guide a child in kitchen, believe me, the child will improve very quickly. And it is always seen in our kitchen, we have different kind of utensils, earthen pots, ceramic pots, plastic, steel, copper, glass, so many. And each utensil, when it interact maybe with a steel spoon or maybe with a wooden stick, all forms different sound. If your child is having a very active ear, just ask the child to close the eyes. Nowadays, everywhere we are seeing these things are coming up, but unfortunately, they are tying a rope, or we can say they are tying a thread in. They are tying a cloth, a black cloth in the eye, which is, I feel, it is not good, because we are compelling a child. Instead of that, we can tell a child that if you love this, or if you have respect for me, or if you love me, you don't open your eyes. So that will give a control from inside. You don't have to make it you don't have to close it from outside. And if you ask the child to hear different sounds, and if you ask the child which sound is this, which sound as that, as we know, our ear has a capacity to know different kind of frequencies. It can detect so many different kind of frequency, which ultimately helps in bringing good memory in the brain. Similarly, whenever we are boiling, suppose water or milk, or we are preparing some curry, they have so many different kind of smell. And each smell, you ask your child, which smell is it? What smell is this? And how this smell is different. There are so many spices, there are so many things, there are so many colorful things, there are so many colorful vegetables, fruits, pulses, masalas, so many things are there which they will learn the life skill, that is the cooking, that is the food is prepared in the kitchen, which is the main ingredient for this human body. So they will have a very, very active sense organ. At the same time, they will learn this life skill known as cooking. So if they are monitored well, if they are trained well, and if some adult can be assisting these children, believe me, they will have super active sense organs, and the karmendriyas, the karmendriyas, that is the speech, their hands, in the whatever work they can do through their karmendriyas, they will have a very healthy body, and they can come back to normalcy with some kind of attention. Only they need some attention from our side, and they can achieve normalcy in a good period of time. If we have one more thing, that is the Pancha Mahabhutas, that is the sun, moon, earth, air, water. These things are also very important for our children's upbringing. Almighty has not given this human body to be enclosed within a four-closed wall, and then we are facing diseases, and then we are falling sick. This human body is completely dependent on the 5 natural elements. Taking sun bath early morning, the red rays, taking a moon bath during a full moon day, enjoying the phase of Shukla Paksha, that is from Amavasya to full moon, enjoying the rain in the rainy days, enjoying the smell of the rains dripping in the earth, those smell, then the earth playing bare feet in the earth, in the mother earth, under the open sky. These are the things we have to bring back to our children, so that they can enjoy this life which is being given by the Almighty with so much of warmth, love, patience, and they can come back to normalcy within very less period of time. So we from Reminisce India, we request to every parent to cooperate within each other, because whenever a special need child will play with normal child, the normal child will understand that if they are away from the natural tricks and techniques of living, they might fall sick like them, and the special child will come back to normalcy soon while watching normal children playing in the environment of their living. There is one more thing. In our olden days, we have always seen that our forefathers have always kept pet animals in the surrounding of their living. The only reason was they always wanted that their children should play with pet animals. I have already made a video that how the pet animals play so much of role for our active sense organs. But nowadays, unfortunately, our children are playing all the time with non-living things. Yes. So let's take away all the non-living things from our children's life, and let's bring the living things to our children's life, and within no time we can see there will be no more special need child within the environment of our living, and we all will be so happy to see a happy child all the time. Jai Bharat.